In example number 4, we have a function which is defined by the following. Let me go ahead and write that down here for you. So we have f of x is equal to, now this is just a polynomial, so x squared minus 8x plus 12 to the 4th power. So it's a large polynomial, right? It's an 8th degree polynomial. But we're going to go ahead and use our differentiation techniques on this, and we're looking at it on a closed interval. So we want to take this polynomial, and we want to find the minimum and the maximum values on the interval -10 to +10. So what we're going to do is we'll take a look at the derivative. So f prime, and that's equal to 4 times x squared minus 8x plus 12 to the 3rd times 2x minus 8. This right here, just the chain rule. Okay. Now we can take a look at this guy and see if we can factor it. Okay. It's not a bad idea. So this right here looks like it might factor into x minus 6 times x minus 2. So those would both be to the 3rd, because I just factored this, and of course it's to the 3rd power, like that. Now if I take this 4 right here, well, I'll just write this guy down like this. So I'm just trying to show you what the book does for its reduction, which is not a bad idea. Okay, so it says, okay, well, we have an extra 2 in here we can factor out. So this will be 8 times x minus 6 to the 3rd, x minus 2 to the 3rd, times x minus 4, like that. So this is the derivative. Now you can leave it back up here like this. It's really irrelevant. So now what I want to know, though, is when is f prime of x equal to 0 for what x values. Now it'll help me to have this guy worked down. So to find the critical values, we take the function, we set it equal to 0, and we solve. Well, there's no way that a can equal 0. So we could have x is equal to 6 here. We'll call that x0. We'll call x1 2, okay, and then we'll call x2 4. So these are the 3 guys that are possible solutions. So now what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if these right here are possible minimums or maximums. Okay, and so to do that, so we have these guys. Now if these guys are inflection points, points of inflection, then they're just going to show up somewhere in the middle anyway, so that's not a big deal. Okay, so then they're clearly not a minimum or a maximum. So we'll take these guys along with -10 and 10. So we've got 2, 4, 6. We get these guys to test out. We're going to figure out what the function values are. So these are the x. We would like the f of x values. So we're not going to plug them into the derivative. We're going to plug them back into the original function. Okay. So when I take -10 and I plug it in to the original function right here, I'm going to go ahead and do that out so that I make sure that what they have in the text is correct. So we have -10 squared minus 8 times -10 plus 12. So this gives us 192 positive. And of course that's still the 4th power. And so it gives us a massive number here. Now we can probably just leave it like this, okay, because we know what happens with the 4th power, okay, but as a number worked out, it's that, okay. But again, I probably don't need to write that down, and I'll show you why in just a second. So if I take 2 and I plug it in here, of course I know that when I plug in 2 here, I'm going to get 4 minus 8, which is negative 12, excuse me, if I plug in 2, I'll get 4 minus 16, which is negative 12, and plus 12, that gives me 0. So this would be 0 to the 4th, or just 0. When I take 4 and I plug it into here, I've got 16 minus 32 plus 12. So 16 minus 32 plus 12 gives me negative 4. And of course, that's still to the 4th power. Okay. You can think about it as positive 4 to the 4th power as well, because it'll give you the same value out. When I take 6 and I plug it into there, I get 0 out. And when I take 10 and I plug it into there, I get 32 to the 4th out. So this is clearly the maximum number right here. Now the minimum value, well, that's between these 2 points. So these guys are both minimums. They both give us the smallest function value. So it's a tie. So if someone asks you what's the maximum value, say it's 192 to the 4th. That's the maximum value of the function on that interval. If someone asks you the minimum value, you just say it's 0. You don't say 0 twice, although there are 2 different values that give you a minimum value.